The bottles getting nifty up the crack and we stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Yo, welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Tuesday, September 5th. And of course, during football season, during NFL season, Jimmy the Bag is so busy that I do these shows solo every Tuesday. But the important part of the show every Tuesday, the comment section, of course, is always here. The second most important part of the show, Jose Bouquet, is always here. Jose Bouquet on the ones and twos. He's going to be joining me for MLB. Thought we were going to have Dabby Cab, but Dabby Cat had to cancel late. So Jose's going to talk baseball with me. We're going to talk WNBA with Billy Briz. We can talk a little bit about college football. Of course, I'm doing a college football show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. with Big Man on Campus, Jeff Nadeau. Week one, how crazy was week one? I'm going to look at the comment section to see how everyone did in week one. Some multiple massive line moves in college football that were totally wrong, especially with totals, but also with sides. Week two, I'm thinking UTSA minus 12 or whatever might be a good bet. I'm thinking Baylor plus the points might be a good bet, and ODU plus the points might be a good bet. All three of those I'm thinking about. But, yeah, tread lightly with college football, and especially tread lightly with tailing the huge moves that you see, because a lot of those moves prove to be totally wrong. Reactions to the reactions, causing massive moves, and the line moves were wound up with losing tickets. We're going to have a great show today. We're going to talk baseball, WNBA, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Interesting time of the year. Let's see. Comment section here. What do we got here? Shout out to everyone. Real Deal Prime, Tori Coker. All right, Saturated. Hell yeah. Let's see what Steve G says. Yeah, Cabby lost all his money on Clemson. Yeah, college football, wacky times in sports betting in general for multiple reasons, not just the rule changes. Also, people using all sorts of advanced, models to fucking find their edges, and those models not necessarily correct. Huge line moves. Some of them turned out to be right. Some of them turned out to be wrong. Once again, oh shit! Shout out to Jeff Nadeau. Jeff Nadeau is in the comment section. Jeff Nadeau, what do you think about Baylor plus the points as a dog this upcoming week? Let me find out. Let me see what the exact situation is here. Yeah, Baylor, of course, lost to Texas State outright. We talked about those. We talked about that game. Nadeau liked the over in that one. Baylor at home against Utah, catching 7. Baylor, of course, lost outright to Texas State. But I think that Baylor plus the points might be a decent bet there. And I'm also thinking kind of a similar situation. Old Dominion getting 6.5, I think, 6.5 or 7 at home against Louisiana Lafayette. Those are two plays that I'm liking. And UTSA, I'm going to have to look into a little bit more closely. Maybe I'll have to ask San Antonio resident Jose Bouquet what he thinks about them. But tentatively, I'm thinking that even giving double digits, they might be a good bet. But as of right now, those are the two bets I'm thinking about very, very strongly. And also maybe UMass at home plus 7 against Miami of Ohio. We were talking about how the MAC is, but against UMass, it might be a different story. But yeah, ODU and Baylor getting points week 2. Those are the two lines that I'm thinking about that I'm liking the most as of right now. Let's go look at the comment section again. Let's see. Right. Baylor quarterback is hurt. Keep in mind, out. Right. Maybe I like it even more now. Maybe I like it even more, Jeff Nadeau. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this on Saturday morning. We'll see what the line moves are. Let's see. A shout out to Saturated, Jeffrey Moore, Londo. And we will talk about WNBA, of course, later on. I was thinking, as always, the over with the Dallas game. Hit that one. We'll see if Billy Briz agrees with that one. Comments. And then we'll get right into it. Jose Bouquet, are you there, or are you still futzing around back there backstage?
No, I'm here, Pete. It's nice to see you. It's been a minute. Pedro, congratulations on your Saturday show with Jeff Nadeau. Shout out to Nadeau as well. We'll have the pleasure of producing you guys this week as I am back. So it's nice to see you guys, and it's nice to talk to you, and hopefully cap some baseball here.
Man, it was fun as hell, but sports betting is a wacky, weird, it's always been wacky, weird, and crazy, area of life. But it seems like it's getting even weirder, even wackier, even more crazy. All of life is, but especially sports betting. What'd you say?
How'd you do week one? I was pretty successful, other than UTSA shitting on my weekend. But how was your weekend?
Oh, we made a lot of no. Is transparency and honesty still part of what we do here at Pub Sports Radio?
It happens to be, yeah.
Okay, took it on the chin. Took it on the chin. Not as far as CLV is concerned. So all the fucking CLV dorks would be like, "Oh, you had a great week." As far as my bankroll is concerned, yeah, I got I beat the huge move on the Fresno State under. That one lost by a mile. I beat the Hawaii one. That wasn't even Saturday. There were other moves that I beat. I blocked them out. I'm in denial. But I beat a ton of line moves. Almost all of them lost, Jose Bouquet. But it's a UTSA. You beat that line move by a mile.
UTSA, I bet them at minus 111, minus 115, and minus 120. It gets all the way up to minus 140, and it doesn't mean fucking shit.
Yeah. But then again, when you bet size appropriately, you can weather those kinds of weeks, which will happen, although they shouldn't happen. I think that will probably wind up being the worst week of college football for me. Although, week ones in NFL and college football, I usually, tread lightly, and you get a lot more information, a lot of stuff, a lot of speculation, especially with the totals in college football. Everyone's talking about the unders, and then of course the overs were a slightly good bet. So there's a lot of talking, yapping and speculation before the season starts, and then after a week or two you get the real picture of how much all that is really mattering. So we'll see. But no doubt about it, I'm going to have a hell of a lot of fun every single fucking week and every single fucking Saturday morning with Jeff Nadeau. And of course, in the contests, right? With you want to plug that for a second? All the NFL contests at Pub Sports Radio. I did win last year. That's true. People are like, who's going to dethrone the champion this year? Probably you're looking at it. I myself am going to dethrone myself this year in the contest with some sort of self-sabotage, but that leaves it open for someone else to win. Everyone should sign up for the Survivor contest and the NFL contest that copies the Circa Millions format. 5 picks a week. Going to be a lot of fun, win or lose, and yeah. Jose Bouquet, come back. All right, here we go. You ready to? Let's quickly glance at the comments. I can see if anyone has any questions or noteworthy comments, and then let's jump into baseball real fast. All right, Jose Bouquet.
Of course, yeah, and I've got your money and market moves over here, Pete. So don't worry about that.
Okay, right on. Let's see. Yeah. Londo says it's better to wait and bet live than pre-flop college football. LOL. Of course. Oh, that was another one I beat. Beat with the CLV. Lost massively with my bet, which was Colorado State against Washington State. I was like, wow, Washington State team total under. Great bet. They put up fucking 50, right? But again, I beat that move by, I don't even know how much I wound up beating it by. Didn't even matter. All right. Mike M says, Clemson aside, glorious evening. Shout out to Mike. Mike, Winley. Mike M, line moves, AI, models, whatever. Mike M always seems to have a nice week in sports betting. Huge shout out to Mike M. All right. Saturated says books over adjusted for the totals. Yeah, I mean, really, it's the betting market that over adjusted. I think there was some early sharp action that hit the totals one way that would have hit it a little bit, and then people just copied, and the totals just crashed. Okay, 5 days. Saturated says 5 days of my Bears roll the pack. Jordan Love. All right. Okay, let's get into it. You ready? Jose?
Yes, sure. Pete, I don't want to put the pressure on you, though.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to request a birthday pick for myself. I will admit, Peter Loshak. So I don't want to put that pressure on you, but I was in Tennessee for a little bit, making those sweet legal gambling bets. And I would love if I could get one from you today, but we'll see. We'll see how the card shakes out from you.
Yeah, we'll see how everything turns out. Shout out to Paco Healy. All right.
Oh, and by the way, happy birthday to Razor Sharp Picks. It's his birthday today.
Oh, fuck. Another guy who's fucking killing it when not when everyone else is. When I'm losing, Razor Sharp Picks killing it. Maybe everyone else had a good Saturday as well. I got pounded in college football.
Thank God for
that's
LSU,
all right.
Florida State. Yeah. If I didn't have Florida State, it would have been a tough week. So.
Was the pick that Razor Sharp Picks? I mean that Mike M told us about, right?
I'm not sure. I remember I was on LSU to begin the whole week, and then I just slowly started watching the line move towards Florida State, and then luckily it wasn't one of those ones where the line movement didn't mean shit. So I just bet Florida State and rolled with it, and that was nice. But let's get after it today, Pete. I'm excited.
Unreal. All right, let's get after it. Let's start. MLB, Minnesota, Cleveland, right? Gray against Bybee, been solid and consistent. Minnesota, of course, 120 zip yesterday. Now, my first thought is got to be thinking at the very least Minnesota first 5 team total under, and maybe Cleveland as a dog on the overnight line. Cleveland was a small dog. Let's see where it is right now. Oh, geez. All right, I got to pull up everything here. Yeah, Cleveland. All right, the line appears to have moved a little bit in Minnesota's favor. Very low total in light of how much Minnesota's been hitting and just what happened yesterday. Both starters obviously are excellent, Bybee solid and consistent. My numbers and my gut told me that Cleveland as a dog might have some value, but the line has moved in the opposite direction. And thinking that at the very least, Bybee comes in and has a nice little start and holds Minnesota relatively down in the first 5 innings of the game. Jose Bouquet, I know you've been very, very busy, so you weren't able to fully cap this this card. But what do you think? Do you think that's after scoring 20? Maybe we take a little shot with Minnesota going up against a nice starter for first 5 team total under? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, the Guardians I saw threw a position player in the 6th inning,
right?
So that I maybe will throw off their timing because that's a lot of innings of having a position player out there. So honestly, I do kind of lean under. I would say it's just one of those cases like we talk about in basketball. Obviously, it's a little different, but when one guy goes off for like 60 points the one game, you kind of fade his points the next game and don't expect him to put up those numbers. So I lean under in this game. And Pete, I'll tell you, we've talked about races and such many times on this program. The Guardians, if they have any shot, they've got to show up in this series. You know, they were only like 5 games back. They got crushed yesterday. It's another 6. They have to win this game to have any hope of coming back. I don't expect them to, but I think they'll be a motivated squad because this is probably Terry Francona's last baseball season as well. And I know he doesn't want to go out with no playoffs, but I think it's just a little too late for them. So I lean under in this game, but I pass here. Market-wise, real quick for you, Pete. 58% of the bets and only 36% of the money on the Twins. So 42% of the bets, 64% of the money on the Guardians. They're pretty nice if you're a Guardians backer. It makes you feel a little better. Totals wise, 68% of the bets and 74% of the money on the over here, Pete. So I don't hate the underlook at all.
Gerardo Hernandez likes the under. Robert Franklin likes the under. And Mike M. God, Mike M. What a savior that man is. Says, big under trend, 85-game sample after a team lets up 10-plus runs. Under has hit 71%. 2 games in play tonight. Presumably Mike M. Liking under as well. Archie 20 says, I took Cleveland in this spot. Yeah, I would agree. I don't love the fact that the line has moved, appears to have moved a little bit in Minnesota's favor since I looked on the overnight line. I'm going to take it a little easy with the official picks on today's card. Probably not have too many, but I think I will take a shot with the Guardians first 5. I'm looking around at Pinnacle. It's plus 108. And let me see, what do we have here? Plus 108. And at Heritage right now, Heritage change up there. Yeah, plus 100. I'll make that official. We can start out with that. I'm going to make the Guardians. Let's see. Let me find a little. Hold on one second. Just documents here. I'm going to take the Guardians first 5 plus 108 as an official play. Current line at Pinnacle, and as I said, definitely leaning under, and maybe the first 5 under as well. 4 is minus 106 at Heritage, and at Pinnacle, the first 5 is plus 104. Wow, that's pretty interesting. All right, I'm going to hold off on the total right now, although the full game under has got to be something to strongly consider. I'm just going to take a shot with the Guardians first 5 plus 108 official play, and we'll move on. What do you think, Jose?
Well, I like it. let's move on.
Okay. Jake Burns says, betting everything I have on Colorado this weekend. Yeah, that's a game we will talk about on Saturday morning. We'll know what the market move has been on that game at the very least. I think that game against TCU, I mentioned it when we were talking about that game. I had TCU circled as particularly overvalued this year, but I was willing to put that aside for that game, and I wish I hadn't done that. But yeah, it's I'm not exactly sure that Colorado is that good. I think that result had at least half as much to do with TCU being overvalued as Colorado being undervalued. But then again, coming home against Nebraska is not necessarily the best place to fade Colorado. We'll talk about that on Saturday morning. All right, next game, Jose Bouquet on the docket, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, a huge underdog, although they have been playing well and winning recently. Don't really want to go against Woodruff and Milwaukee, but it's a huge favorite line. Pittsburgh was in the mid 150s on the overnight line, and now they are. Let's look at the line move. Yeah, tiny, maybe almost no market move so far overall. Pittsburgh about plus 150 at Pinnacle right now. I would love to take Milwaukee here, but at the line, my numbers indicate that Pittsburgh still has some value at plus 150, despite going up against Woodruff, and maybe some slight value with the under as well at 8.5. Not sure whether I want to pull the trigger on it. Jose Bouquet, what do you think about this? And people in the comments section, let us know what you think. Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, a huge home dog.
Yeah, a pretty easy pass for me. I definitely lean Pittsburgh, though. I just don't like the Brewers at this price. They're not that good of a ball club. I know they're a division leader, but it's against the worst division in baseball. And Pittsburgh's fine. I mean, they're a pretty shit ball club relatively, but they're just generally fine at times. They've actually got some love in the market too, Pete. 61% of the bets, 75% of the money on the Pittsburgh Pirates there. And totals wise, 62%, 68% on the under there as well. So I do lean Pirates, admittedly. If this is going to be a lower scoring game, because the Brewers offense is never really to be trusted, just give me the Pirates here to pull one out at home, especially with the last at-bats as well. But I'm not making anything official here, obviously.
Yeah, my numbers indicate small value on Pittsburgh at anything plus 150 or better, and the under at 8.5 at anything minus 110 or better. You can get both those at Pinnacle right now. But I think I'm going to pass. I'm going to hold off on this one for right now in the comments section. Let's see if anyone is all people are talking. There you go. Londo likes the Brewers, but everyone else just talking about Colorado, Nebraska. And Ron Crawford, MLB spreadsheet. Thank God, Ron Crawford in the comments section. MLB spreadsheet play of the day. Houston, copying and pasting that. We'll talk about that when we get to that game. That's definitely a very interesting one. We'll talk about that. Let's see. Go ahead. Yeah. Joe Yurkovich saying Pittsburgh hitting pretty well. Yeah, I probably should pull the trigger on Pittsburgh, and maybe I will privately. Maybe we'll by the end of the show. But as of right now, I'll pass. Let's move on. Next game, Dodgers and Miami. Now, Jose Bouquet, I know you follow baseball super, super, super closely, right? Kershaw, near lights out for 5 innings in all of his last bunch of starts, but his stuff was a little off in his last start. So is he going to have another lights out or close to lights out 5-inning start here? And Luzardo, last 2 starts, absolutely lights out. Before that, he was getting hit. Is Luzardo going to have a third straight great start? If you can answer both of those questions, you can make a lot of money tonight. Right here in this game, Dodgers at Miami. What do you think, Jose Bouquet? I don't know. The reason I didn't give it a news, I have no actual clue.
Yeah, this is a fishy line, admittedly. I feel like I've seen Kershaw nothing but like minus 170, minus 150, et cetera, this whole year. And this has just been like the lowest I've seen him in a little bit now. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of factors going into that. Marlins at home. Marlins are particularly good at hitting lefties. This year, Jesus Luzardo is a very good quality pitcher. But I still lean Dodgers, honestly. I still lean Dodgers at almost minus 130. It just feels like a fishy line. It feels like they're inviting you to bet the Dodgers here today. So I pass. I mean, the only thing I'm betting in this game are Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman props. They're literally the 2 best. I think they're like second and third best in OPS plus or whatever stat you want to look at against lefties this year. They've just been smashing lefties on their own. So if I'm betting this game, it'd be some version of that. Perhaps an over in this game as well, but I've got nothing here. Market-wise, 85% of the bets, 74% of the money on the Dodgers. Again, just feels like it's inviting you to bet it. And
Yeah.
82% of the bets and 70% of the money on the over 7.5 here, and it's stayed there. So, yeah, honestly, I feel like this is just a cheap price for the Dodgers that are books are trying to get everyone to bet, and I think the Marlins could take advantage here today. So, gun to head, I'm taking the Marlins.
Yeah, absolutely. And this also feels it's a classic example of one of those games where the market move will tell you the answer to those questions that I asked. Will Kershaw be able to stack another very nice 5-inning start here on top of all the others? Will Luzardo be able to stack a third straight lights out start? The market probably tells you that answer, and there has been a market move, a small one, but about a 10-cent move since the overnight line in favor of Miami. Jose?
Yeah, that's again. It just feels like it's a Marlin spot just based off that cheap, shockingly enough.
Could go back the other direction. I'd love to take a shot with Miami full game at plus 125, and I might do it before the end of the show, but I think I will hold off for now. And people have been saying no run in the first inning. Who says that? I found that, yeah, Kong's Clips likes no run in the first inning and first 5 under. Those are both, obviously, the obvious plays if both of those pitchers continue to do what they have done, which I think is probably more likely than not. All right, let's move on. Jose Bouquet, Seattle, Cincinnati. This is one play that I did take. Maybe it was a classic Loshak, big favorite thing to do. We got Bryce Miller, last 5 starts, very solid, going up against Connor Phillips, a first-time starter in Double-A and Triple-A. He was okay, but not great. It's going to be a hot day in Cincinnati, and Seattle first 5 look like pretty clearly obvious plays here. Because we have a first-time starter, it's hard to get a statistical read on this one like you can with other situations. But why are we not pull the trigger on Seattle here, even as a big favorite?
Yeah, well, first of all, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
Obviously, we have to play that.
Yes, of course.
I mean, yeah, I like Seattle here. My main concern here is that just the Reds are obviously still motivated to play good baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They are. Let me double check for everyone real quick. They're tied right now for the third wild card with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So that's one reason, obviously, that worries me. But I mean, obviously, Seattle has all the motivation in the world to play and win this game too, because they're right in the thick of it right now in that AL West race. By the way, the Rangers officially 1 game back and only a half game in the playoffs. For fucking months, Pete, I said that the Rangers were not going to make the playoffs. I got shit all over on the channel, fucking all the bad things, and look at them now. So I hate to see that. But I mean, at minus 142, I personally wouldn't bet it, but I know you would, Pete. So I don't hate it. I know the Rangers aren't a bad play at all here today. But the only issue, I'll tell you, market-wise, 32% of the bets and 62% of the money on the Reds here.
Yeah, and the line has moved quite significantly since the overnight line, almost a 15-cent move in favor of the Reds market wide. That's full game, of course. Very interesting. Yeah, I agree with you. I will tell you what I will do though, and if it loses, it loses. It's okay. Just minus 133. I'm going to take Seattle first 5 team total over 2.5 minus 133. Let me quickly peek at what Heritage might have here. Seattle, right. Minus 128, so that's nice. I will take that, the Heritage line. All right, so you wouldn't take a 141 line in general, Jose Bouquet. Would you take something at minus 128 if it were promising enough to you?
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that at all.
You wouldn't play that video for me at a minus 128 line, would you?
No, of course not.
Of course not. All right, we'll make that an official place. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Justin McElvey dropping his stacks pod. Julio Rodriguez RBI at plus 112. Shot to him. And Rocco Rogers also putting in Mariners first 5 team total over 2.5. J-Rod over bases, Teoscar hit, J-Rod home run, and a J-Rod Judge parlay for the homers as well. So shout out to you guys, little Mariners love in the chat.
Yeah. All right. So I'm making that official. Current line at Heritage, Seattle, first 5, team total over 2.5 minus 128. It's a little bit higher at Pinnacle, which I guess is nice to see. And I would definitely be looking at that first 5. It's minus 147, minus 147, and
Pete,
maybe
you're starting to dally into that territory, Pete.
I am, but because of the high volatility involved here, I might, I usually just take money lines on the first 5s. I might consider taking minus a half at minus 107. That's not too bad. Let me see what Heritage would have. God, Heritage changed their thing. Yeah, Heritage is minus 109. Yeah. High volatility here, and I will double up, and I will take that. I will take Seattle first 5 minus a half run, official play, minus 107. Current line at Pinnacle. Seattle first 5 minus a half, minus 107. I'll do that, Jose Bouquet. It makes some sense, right?
Yeah, I like it. I haven't taken a first 5 minus a half in a minute, but the higher volatility, as you say, Pete, does lend it to more scoring, obviously, and you can get in there. So I like it.
Right. Rocco Rogers loves the Mariners' first 5 team total over. Okay. I'm going to take it easy, but as of right now, I have 3 official plays. They're all, I think, okay. Let's move on. Jose Bouquet, you ready? It involves the Boston Red Sox at Tampa Bay. Boston as a dog. Crawford against Eflin. Boston, of course, won yesterday. Eflin is usually good, sometimes gets hit, though, off of 3 good starts. My numbers indicated small value with Boston as a dog. Tampa Bay, of course, is a team that's scary to bet against, but when they get into a funk and they start to become a favorite, in this range, they can have betting value for short periods of time, and that's what it seems like is going on here. My numbers indicated small value with Boston as a dog, small value with the under, despite the low total. Jose Bouquet, I know you follow MLB very closely, but you follow Boston unbelievably closely, maybe in an unhealthy way, but at least that means you're a great person to ask. When it comes to games like this, you think Boston has value here to win a second game in a row against Tampa Bay as a dog?
Yeah, I like the price, just value based on the price. But this Red Sox team has put me in a mental blender this whole year. ups and downs the whole fucking season. And yesterday was their first win in Tropicana all year. And it feels like it's one of those things where you finally get the monkey off your back, and then you kind of win a couple straight to kind of even that shit out. Like, for example, the one that comes to mind, obviously, is the Blue Jays. The Red Sox have beat up on the Blue Jays all season. And then the Blue Jays win that first game, and they're like, oh, this is how you beat them. And they just sweep them. So maybe that happens here today. Eflin is fine. I don't trust Eflin all that much, but he's pitching at home, so that's the big equalizer. And I think the younger pitcher for the Red Sox should not be bet on, honestly, right now. Cutter Crawford is hitting a career high in innings, and it's just not something I trust right now. And I've stayed off the Red Sox in the last couple of weeks, actually, last week or so, I should say, because I don't worry about it, or I don't trust them. So if I'm making a play here, gun to head, it's absolutely Red Sox, but I am not going to make that play here today, Pete. Market-wise in here, 84% of the bets and 80% of the money on the Rays. So that's not good. And then 68% of the bets and 82% of the money on the Rays. Or sorry, on the under, excuse me.
Right. And there has been a slight market move from the overnight in favor of the Rays, just like a 5 or 10 cent move, and we'll see where that closes, but that has happened. And all right, yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm not going to make a bet on this one. Free play, I put it on the Red Sox. I am, though, thinking about tripling. I was almost saying that he liked Justin McIvy likes the Seattle full game team total over. I was thinking about chucking on the Seattle over 5 at minus 139, but maybe I'll just hold off for now. But I'm thinking about tripling up on Seattle in that game. And you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll add that one on. Seattle full game team total over 5 minus 139. Current line at Heritage. I like that one. I will do that. I will throw that one on there as well. So tripling up on that one. I think it's a good spot to take Seattle. All right. Let's.
I knew you were going to add that, Pete. As soon as you said it, Pete, I knew you were going to add it.
I was just giving myself 10 seconds of fear therapy. All right. Next game, Jose Bouquet. I don't know about this one, man. Detroit Yankees, Faedo and Cole. Cole is definitely not lights out right now, but not terrible. Facing Detroit for a second time in a row. Detroit has actually won 4 in a row, and it's a huge favorite line for the Yankees. Once again, classic situation. My numbers indicate that Detroit has some value as a huge underdog here. Didn't bet it yet, though. Probably don't have the balls to give it publicly, but the numbers like Detroit and slight lean to the under as well, despite another low total. This is a tough one. What do you think? Cole starting for the Yankees at home, but a massive favorite line for the Yankees just shouldn't be that high, according to my numbers. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Obviously, I don't think the Yankees should be this high at all. Now, I shout out to the Yankees who have found some life recently. Garrett Cole's probably going to win the American League Cy Young. It'll be his first. I expect him to pitch well. I know back-to-back spot here or whatever, but it's the Tigers, so I generally trust him here. And, the Yankees have brought up the young kids, and they're finally starting to get a little pep in their step offensively. And maybe I still lean under full game because I just think Garrett Cole could blank the Tigers, and then you're asking for a bunch of runs from the Yankees, which I don't think they can do anyways. So I'd lean under here, but let's talk about the market real quick in this game. Scrolling, there you are. Sharps are on the Tigers. 34% of the bets, 69% of the money on them. Kind of not surprising, especially with that price. So shout out to that. And then totals wise, 83% of the money and 86%, sorry, backwards, 83% of the bets, 86% of the money on the over here. So it's 8, stated 8, even with that number or with all that number or money on the over there. So maybe if it drops down, that'll be an indication. But if it stays at 8, just feels like a under kind of game because like I said, if you get Garrett Cole to blank the Tigers, that's asking for a lot of runs from one side. So I lean up in here for either.
Yeah, I'm not going to pull the trigger on it, though. Look at this, Joe Yurkovich. I might just lock in Marlins team total over 3 minus 126. Wow. And look at this, Mike M. Jose, God, thank God for Mike. And he's a nice guy. If he was a dick, I would still love him, but he's a nice guy. So I'm just like, I don't even know. It melts my brain. Mike M. Boston 15-0 as a dog, a plus 115 or more after a 5+ run game with a win margin of almost 4 runs. That's an interesting stat right there. And even just with basic statistical analysis, Boston was a little bit too big of a dog according to my numbers. Boston might be a real nice play here, Jose Bouquet. Nice play.
I don't hate to play just based off the number at all.
Right,
and I agree, and I like that team total over 3. It's a little bit too much juice for me,
right.
But I do like that look. I just think that Kershaw seems like he's vulnerable today.
Right. He definitely does. Okay. Next game on the card, Mets and Washington, Quintana and Corbin. It's Patrick Corbin day. I've gotten burned a few times fading him when he has had some of his good starts recently, but still done okay. Fading him with his bad starts. Now he's at home against the Mets. The Mets have actually been winning a bit, and the Nats kind of losing. Quintana, no great shakes. Actually, my starting pitching ratings give only a very tiny advantage to Quintana statistically. My gut says there should still be a big advantage for Quintana, but statistically there's not. It's going to be hot around 90. Washington is a small home dog, and once again I'm thinking, scratching my head about maybe just taking yet another first 5 team total over fade of Corbin, but the numbers don't like the Mets as a big favorite here. In fact, a small lean to Washington, which I'm not going to bet, but the numbers I look at indicate small lean to Washington. This is an interesting one. What do you think? Fade Corbin again, or you think maybe he has a 6-inning, 3-run decent start here, or even better, 2 runs?
I actually think he has a pretty good start just because I don't trust the Mets bats against lefties.
Right.
That's the thing. And I'm looking at his this will be his 3rd start against the Mets this season. 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 K, 1 walk earlier in the season. And last month on the 29th, or I should say, what's the month before? January, July, August, July 29th. He goes 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs on 2 home runs, 2 Ks, 1 walk. So those are just fine starts. They're not like your abysmal Patrick Corbin's here. So
sure.
I definitely don't want to fade him against the Mets. That's just one team I don't want to fade him against. And that one good start earlier in the season, Pete, that 6 innings, 2 earned run start was at home as well, and he's back at home here again. So
Sure.
if anything, I'm betting maybe even a first 5 under if you're feeling ballsy, but I don't want to actually fade Patrick Corbin here, which is shocking to say on a given day. 60% of the bets and 88% of the money on the Nationals.
Right.
Pretty surprising.
I mean, well, my numbers indicated, full game, my numbers indicated value on the Nats.
Well, totals wise, 82% of the bets and 85% of the money on the over here. Yeah, I just kind of want to fade that, honestly. So Nationals and the under would be my play here.
Interesting. You do still see, even in 2023, some significant discrepancies in the first 5 team totals. If you want to take the Mets right now, Pinnacle on the over has minus 118. Heritage has just minus 106. That's pretty tempting, Jose Bouquet. They're begging me. Go ahead.
I said that's not bad at all. They are begging you.
They are begging me. And you know what? Minus 106, I will make that one an official play. I know the Mets have their bats, and Corbin's been okay. But over 5 innings in 90-degree heat and Washington, I'm not sure I trust him. I'm going to make that an official play. Mets first 5, team total over 2.5 at just minus 106, Jose Bouquet. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, roll those dice for cheap. I get it.
Yeah, I'll make that an official play. I'm going to fade. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a little worrisome for me just because it's that low, but I don't hate it at all.
Yeah, and again, Pinnacle has minus 118 right now, and yeah, I'd be leaning over on this one as well, but I'm going to, and I'm just not my numbers indicate not that big of an edge for Quintana here. Statistically, my numbers could be wrong, but let's look at the comment section, and then let's move on. DC Capper leans Washington plus 126. So do I. Daryl Turner, anyone like Nats? Okay, let's move on. Jose Bouquet, St. Louis and Atlanta. This game didn't have a line when I looked at it before the show. Of course, Soroka is returning, and he's had some issues in the majors since he's returned. I really have nothing to say about this because I haven't. There was no line before I stopped my research, like 15 minutes before the show started. I don't trust Soroka here, but I don't want to bet against Atlanta, against St. Louis. I got nothing on it right now. Do you have any thoughts about this one?
Yeah, you just told me Soroka is in. I didn't even know it was Soroka. So there's that start. His last couple minor league starts, for those who care, 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 2 walks, 5 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk, and then the one before that, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks, no walks, a home run allowed in that game. I like Mike Soroka, I really do, but I can't back him this year, unfortunately. It's going to take him, I guess, a full year of pitching to get under his shit together, get under his belt, and maybe he'll come back to the old Mike Soroka that was really good here.
Right.
But I just want nothing to do with this game. And Miles Michaelis is the best Cardinal starter they have. So
right.
I guess I lean over, but there was no line for me as well. So.
Right. I mean, you could just do an Atlanta team total over, which is always a relatively comfortable thing to do. Michaelis, you think he's gonna have a strong start here? Hard to believe, right?
Yeah, I find it hard to believe, like you say here. I'm gonna look up real quick because I'm sure Michaelis has seen the Braves once this season already, and if he has, he faced them in his second start of the season. 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs on 1 home run, 6 Ks, 1 walk. Kind of figuring the same thing will happen here today.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not gonna make any official plays here because we're just analyzing this on the fly here. Let's move on. Jose Bouquet, the Giants and the Cubs. This one also didn't have an overnight line, but it had them early this morning. A bullpen day for San Francisco, hot and about a 10 wind out. Last I saw at Wrigley, Hendricks is starting. He's been okay his last 5. Might get hit here. San Francisco, though, really not much offense recently. Again, bullpen day for San Francisco. A lot of factors to juggle around here. I think I'm going to pass on this one. Let's see what the market has done since the line opened. Yeah, right about almost exactly where it was when I looked at it. Small favorite for the Cubs, small favorite line for the Cubs, 10.5 juice to the under on the total. I'd be, if anything, taking a shot with the Giants to have a nice offensive day. Maybe Giants team total over. I'm not going to bet that, especially not without knowing what Nutflesh Allen has to say about it. You have anything on this one, Jose Bouquet? Probably a pass, right?
Yeah, pass for me. I've seen guys like Saturated and my guy Troy Torrance. Shout out to Troy. I've seen guys like him bet like the Cubs every day, like we have for the Orioles. And shout out to him, and I think they've been successful with it. So I lean Cubs, I guess, but ultimately, like I said, it's a pass for me. I bullpen games for the Giants used to be much more profitable than they are.
And this is another game where the line movement might be telling. If we have a big line move one way or another on this one, on the side that is, it might be worth tailing even after the move. Classic situation where you have, a team that just isn't hitting in a big hitting situation. And as far as the stadium is concerned and a bullpen day for that team, I might tail any significant line move even after the move in this game. Let's move on.
It does seem windy today. It does seem windy today, just based off the total there. 10.5 usually means heavy winds in Chicago.
Yeah.
So
and last I saw was around 80 and about a 10 wind out, which is obviously nice hitting weather at Wrigley. All right. Next game. This is an interesting one. It's another one where the market move might tell us what to do here. White Sox and KC, right? Cease against Singer. Dylan Cease obviously very vulnerable overall right now, but pitching against the Royals at KC is one of the better pitching situations that you can have. Brady Singer got hit in his last 2 starts, had some arm fatigue. They gave him some extended rest and also a paternity leave break. Is that rest enough? I don't know. He's going to come back here and then add on that the White Sox are just sucking and not hitting right now in general, but they're also off of the 12-1 loss. Big loss to KC, a team that usually doesn't win, let alone dominate. Let's see what the market move has been. On the line, KC was about a minus 110 favorite, and now there's been a 10-cent move roughly in KC's favor. They're minus 120 at Pinnacle right now, and the total has not moved much at all. It's going to be hot, low 90s, wind angled out at KC. And Dylan Cease obviously looking very vulnerable overall right now. Slight market move in KC's favor. What do you think here, Jose Bouquet?
I thought it was the one of the more interesting lines of the day. Maybe I was like, maybe I'm just disconnected here. But seeing Dylan Cease as an underdog to the Royals, it was just shocking. And I haven't kept up with Brady Singer's last few starts, so he got touched up in that rest and the paternity leave. Hopefully that helps him here. One of the plays I was close on to making here on the card, and I hadn't made any plays yet. There's only like 2 that I think I'm going to make officially here. Was a first 5 under here. I think that both these pitchers can go out there and pitch well. But let's talk about the market here first.
Yes.
The market, 41% of the bets and 74% of the money on the Royals here. Kind of not surprising to me. We've talked about how good Brady Singer can be at home as well. And again, that break I think could help him out a lot there. For this game, I'll refresh my Action Network, but we don't have a money percentage yet on this game because I guess there's just not enough tickets. So just the ticket spread or ticket count for each side on this game is 54% of the bets on the over there, and it seemingly popped from 9 to 9.5 here as well. So that makes it interesting, Pete. Do you have the same movement on the over?
I'm sorry. Wait, you're saying that you're seeing a line move to the over?
Well, allegedly, and Action does a shitty job about their openers and such. Allegedly, this opened up at a 9.
Oh, okay. That might have been an early opener. I kind of look at openers when the limits open up a little bit more. Since I looked at it, I'm seeing not much of a movement on the total, but about a 10-cent move to KC.
Okay, yeah, I'd probably just be on KC then after all the market analysis there. I'd probably be on KC in some form or fashion. I don't know if laying minus 120 is the best or the first 5. Well, I guess I'd take full game over first 5 just because I want to get away from Cease eventually. But that also means you're going into a Royals bullpen that cannot be really trusted. So It's a
Yeah.
tough game. I lean Royals, but I don't know if I'll make anything official.
I would love to take like Royals first 3 or first inning because I'm not sure how much I trust Singer to go 5. I think he'll start out pretty good, but that fatigue might creep up. I don't know. 5 innings might be a little bit much to ask. But Cease, so you're not down on Cease? I mean, he's getting hit, man.
Yeah, no. Rocco's saying his last couple of starts 5-9, 4 earned runs, and 3 in his last 3 starts, I should say. And it's one of those things that it just felt like immediately when the White Sox made all those trades and such, and Dylan Cease wasn't getting moved, he just kind of threw in the towel. He was like, "Fuck this! I just don't really care anymore and whatnot." So it just feels like since then he's been pitching poorly.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I wouldn't bank him here yet.
I'll do it. The numbers like it. I'm going to take a heritage line. KC Royals first 5 innings minus 120. It's minus 122 at Pinnacle. I'll take the heritage line. KC Royals first 5 minus 120. I don't love taking a team like KC off a huge win like that, and Singer is a big question mark. But I will take that. KC Royals first 5 minus 120. That's an official play. And I'd love to take like the first inning KC minus 122 as well. But I'll hold off. I'll just take the first 5 there, and then let's move on. Jose Bouquet, Houston and Texas. Here we go once again. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play of the day is Houston on the money line. Eovaldi starting for Texas. He returns from the injured list. Houston 113-6 yesterday, and Valdez starting for Houston. He's had 9 out of his last 9 starts. 2 of them lights out. The other 7 he's gotten hit. So I was leaning Texas here. Definitely didn't bet it, and it's very interesting that it's the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day on Houston. I'd be leaning Texas, and Texas has hit Houston, has hit Valdez the 2 times they've seen him this year. Texas small home dog. Let's look at it was like plus 105 on the overnight when I looked at it, and now it's about a 5-cent move since I looked at it in favor of Texas. What do you think, Jose? Is Houston maybe a good bet here?
I like the Astros here. I'm going to make it official. Astros money line minus 110. But I'm also making the over official here as well, Pete. Now, I have to decide what is the better course, first 5 or full game here, as Nathan Spooner, or Morgan Spooner, I should be saying. He's saying super live for that 4.5. Justin McAfee, by the way, likes team total over 3.5 here as well for the Rangers. I just think this Rangers team's done. I've been saying it for months now. I've never thought this Rangers team would have enough at the end of the season to get to the playoffs. And now the Blue Jays are finally helping this process out. So we appreciate that. But that Rangers bullpen is just so bad. And that is something we've talked about for months. It's horrible. And Aroldis Chapman is horrible. We've said that as well. And
Alfred 44 just said Rangers bullpen is hellish.
That's a great way to describe it, hellish. They blow leads left and right. So even if you're down 5-0, just know Nathan Eovaldi's not pitching this whole fucking game. This is his first start coming back off the IL.
Yeah.
So, no thanks. There's no way he goes deep here. So give me the Astros here, and I'll take a full game over 9.
All right. Well, very interesting stuff here. Joe Yurkovich saying first 5 under here, and Mike M pointing out this is the other game supporting that under trend, 85 game sample. Man, with that bullpen though, and with Valdez, an 8.5 makes me very nervous. But Yurkovich likes the first 5 under, not full game. Mike M pointing out the trend that indicates that possibly a full game under might have some value. Justin McElvey likes the Rangers team total over though. Rangers team total over is on his card. Wow. All right. I think, and again, Houston, go ahead.
You want some news that might make you feel better about the Rangers here?
Yeah.
71% of the bets and 83% of the money on the Rangers in this
Unreal.
game. Totals wise, 83% of the bets, only 22% of the money on it. 17% of the bets and 78% of the money on the under in this game. Wow.
Woo!
Yeah, that will keep me off of the over, honestly. I will no longer be making the over official just based off that. I'll just stick with Astros money line minus 110, but sheesh.
Yeah. If I had any balls at all, I would follow that and Mike M and Joe Yurkovich's advice, and at the very least take the first 5 under, if not the full game under. But just like the blackjack dealer in casino, I got no balls at all. You know what I'm referring to, Jose Bouquet?
Nope, but I too do not have any balls with the blackjack casinos or
It's
blackjack.
when Joe Pesci says to the blackjack dealer, if you had any balls at all, you'd be stealing for a living. He throws the fucking cards at him, and he was right. And if I had any balls at all, I would take the first 5 under here. But I don't, so I'm not going to. It's going to be a pass for me, Jose Bouquet.
Yeah, I like Joe's look first 5 under. It's big balls there. And yeah, EQ. I'll say it again real quick. Money line again, 71% of the bets and 83% of the money on the Rangers there. So very, very interesting.
Okay, let's move on. Baltimore and the Angels. Kramer against Mers. The Angels, losing even with Ohtani. I believe Ohtani is banged up. I haven't heard definitively whether he's going to be in or out, but I'm assuming he'll be out, right? Why would they put him in there? Even if he's in, though, I would be liking Baltimore here as a favorite. Kramer's been pitching well and consistently. I'm assuming the Angels on the overnight line, it was about plus 130. And now, yes, we have about an almost 20-cent move in favor of the Orioles. That almost certainly tells me that Ohtani is out. Definitely liking the volatility here. So if I'm going to take Baltimore, which I probably will, I would take him on the -1 line. If I had any balls at all, I would take him on the -1.5 line, but I don't. So I'm going to take him on the -1 line. And, it seems a little bit no-brainerish, but this feels like one of those no-brainerish things to do that is, in retrospect, the right thing to do. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, I'm on the Orioles -1. Me and Jimmy have been betting the Orioles basically every day. I bet them when I was on my trip as well. The best of those was that being plus 120 underdogs to Arizona and Zach Gallen. They win that game. Shout to them. I just keep on betting the Orioles until the wheels fall off. I just like the Orioles here. So I'll take a -1. I'll quote a price here later. I have to do the line calculation, obviously, but I'll be on -1 for sure. Shout out to BJ, his best bet, 6 units. And we know how BJ rolls on the fucking units. Orioles -140. I think this is the highest, the biggest amount of units I've seen on one play for BJ. Now, I obviously could be wrong. BJ, let me know. But I think this is the highest I've seen. So,
all right. Well, we're going to get a shitty line, and I will quote it. I'll just take the pinnacle line right now, which is Baltimore -1, -128. -128. It's a little steep there. I should probably take the -1.5. Go ahead.
As I said, that is shitty.
Yeah. The 1.5 would be plus 105, which might be a nice little thing to do there. And you know what? Maybe I will do that. This will be the one game where they do actually win by 1, but I'll do that. Yeah, you're right. I will take the +1.5, the -1.5 at plus 105. Baltimore Orioles -1.5 at plus 105. That's an official play. High volatility. What?
Would you take a -2 here, Pete?
I think I just want to. Maybe at some other point in my life. As of right now, I'm just going to take the standard 1.5 at plus 105, Jose. But -2 is plus 137 at Pinnacle. If I was getting a little bit better than that, you have to pay for those kinds of that kinds of selling. So I'll just take the 1.5 at plus 105. Glance the comment section and then move on. Joe Yurkovich liking O's team total over 4.5 -115. I'm liking that as well. And Markel likes the -2 on the first 5. And Morgan Spooner says we'll be able to get a better live line on Baltimore at -1. And that is probably true. Sanderson P says $2,500 max play on the O's. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Jose Bouquet, Colorado, Arizona. Man, I don't know about this one, man. Arizona, of course, fighting for a playoff spot, but this is a huge line. Colorado really losing, though, game in and game out, winning a game here and there, but more often than not, stringing together 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in a row. Freeland is okay, but usually gives up a few even on the road. The Arizona starter, Brandon Pfaadt, can be good, but very inconsistent. And my numbers indicate value actually value on Arizona, but very low confidence. Total is 9. Let's see what the market move has been. It was about minus 190 last night, and of course, as you might expect, about a 15-cent move in favor of Arizona. It's about minus 205 right now at Pinnacle. I'm going to pass on this one, Jose Bouquet. Free bet. I guess I'd throw it on Arizona. I don't know. What do you think, Jose?
Same, easy pass for me. I want nothing to do with this game. Brandon Pfaadt, I think, will be good next year, but I'm good. I'm betting him here, so maybe a lean towards the under here, but nothing for me.
As well, yes, I would lean towards the under. Also, that's what my lines indicate, but no real market movement towards the under, though. And I will, the under is looking very, very, very tempting, Jose Bouquet, man. The more we talk about it,
the Rockies
the more I look at my
well
numbers.
away from home. They just really
I'm sorry?
do. The Rockies pitch well away from home. It's pretty shocking.
Yeah. Although Freeland himself doesn't actually have, but he's also not terrible on the road. Definitely leaning under, and I might add that one on by the end of this show. All right, next game, Toronto, Oakland. Of course, Toronto won yesterday, but just 6-5. Bassett against Waldekuk. As usual, my numbers indicate value on Oakland as a huge home dog and value on the under at 8.5. That's every single freaking game at home with Oakland. It seems like every single game, my numbers indicate value with Oakland as a big home dog and the under. Once again, here we go. Bassett usually gives up a few. He's off of a great start. Great inning shutout start, likely to be good again, but not lights out, according to my numbers. And leaning Oakland, leaning under, as far as the bet's concerned, probably going to be a pass.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Blue Jays. I'm already invested. Like I said, I have the Rangers to miss the playoffs. I bet that. I forgot what date. So it's like plus 350, plus 300-ish for me. So I root for the Blue Jays every day and hope the Rangers demise. So I agree, and I'm glad this is a light spot for the Blue Jays here, because I think they could go ahead and overtake the Rangers here today. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So Blue Jays, but nothing for me.
Eric Jones says under is the play, Pete. I'm assuming he's talking about this game and not the Arizona game. Well, they might have been talking about the Arizona game. Yeah, I might pull the trigger on that Arizona game, though. Yeah, Oakland leaning Oakland, leaning under, and I might actually have a play on Oakland, but I'm going to want to see the line moves and I want to see the lineups as well. Let's see what the if there's been a market move. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you market-wise here, Pete, 77% of the bets and 87% of the money on the under, and it seems like it's gone towards the under, correct?
Oh, yeah. On the overnight line, when I looked at it, Oakland was about in the low 170s. Now they're in the low 160s, so a 10-cent move towards Oakland. And the total, yes, was 8.5, a little bit juiced to the over, and now it's all the way down to 8. So it's gone down about a half run since the overnight line when I looked at it, which means that my initial thought was correct, probably, and the current line is probably unbettable. So it's going to be a pass for me. Ready to move on, Jose?
Yeah, real quick before we do just the money line market, only 20% of the bets on the A's, but 55% of the money on the A's. So just be aware that seems like there's sharp money on the A's here today, but nothing here for me.
Absolutely. And Eric Jones talking about the Arizona game. And yeah, you know what? I'll throw it on. I'll throw that one on. I mean, I'm going to be betting it. So why not throw it on? It's 9 minus 103 right now at Pinnacle. Not a bad line there. And Heritage, has minus 109. We'll throw that one on there. We'll throw Colorado, Arizona under 9 minus 103 as an official play. Jose Bouquet, Colorado, Arizona under 9 minus 103. All right. And now let's move on. The last game on the card, Philly and San Diego. Lorenzen has had 3 straight subpar starts after his no-hitter. Avila, his last 2 appearances, has gotten hit. It's a modest day in San Diego. Philly rolled yesterday. My lines indicate. I'm sorry?
Why are the Padres favored here, Pete?
Well, they weren't on the overnight line, and my numbers indicated value on San Diego as a dog, and now, yes, it has moved about 10 cents in San Diego's favor since the overnight line. I had him as a small dog on the overnight line, and I didn't bet it. My numbers indicated value there. Now it's minus 106, and actually still small value. My numbers indicate somewhere in the mid 115 round range for San Diego here, and a small lean to the under as well.
Interesting.
Why would you?
I don't know. I guess I'm just disconnected. I just expect the Phillies to beat their ass here. The Padres, lifeless. They don't give a fuck anymore. And
right.
Obviously, Pedro Avila on the bump. That doesn't inspire confidence either. but I was never really a Michael Lorenzen guy either. So I guess I lean over in this game. But yeah, I was shocked to see that they were a favorite, even though obviously a slight favorite. But I was surprised. 41% of the bets, 84% of the money on the Phillies. And Pete, correct me if I'm wrong, but the line has moved towards the Padres.
Yes. Well, since the overnight. Yes.
So that's red flag number one there. 56% of the bets and 93% of the money on the over in this game here as well. So, yeah, I'm off the over, but again, I'm just surprised the Phillies are our favorite here. So maybe I guess the team total for the Philadelphia Phillies here, but nothing here for me, I guess.
Okay, and Eric Jones making some interesting comments about the reverse line movement. Alfred 44 pointing out Padres lines have been mispriced all season, which of course is true. We've talked about that ad nauseum, and I guess that was the last game on the card. Let's just wrap it up. Jose Bouquet, let me review my official plays. I've got a relatively modest number of plays here relative to other shows. Probably a few of them are negative EV, but overall I think they're okay. I'm going to take the Guardians first 5 plus 108. Which I forgot who it was. Someone pointed out that it's the second time in a row that the Twins are going to be seeing the rookie Bybee, so that's not a good spot for him. But after what went down last night, I'm going to pull the trigger on what my numbers indicate as some value. Guardians first 5 plus 108. Taking Seattle to hit the first time start. Taking Seattle to hit the first time starter. I'm going to take first 5 team total over 2.5 minus 128. Full game team total over 5 minus 139 and first 5 minus a half at minus 107. I'm going to take the Mets to hit Corbin. If it loses, I will only lose 1.06 units. Mets first 5 team total over 2.5 minus 106. Take a shot with Brady Singer to bounce back from the arm fatigue against Dylan Cease and the lifeless White Sox. KC first 5 minus 120. Kind of a no-brainer play on Baltimore minus 1.5 full game at plus 105. And another play that just has standard small value according to my numbers. Rockies, Arizona, under 9 minus 3. Those are all my official plays for today. Of course, the MLB spreadsheet play of the day is Houston. And Mike M has talked about some interesting unders that he expects, or at least there's systems that indicate that unders might have value in the Guardians game and in Texas, Houston. And Jose Bouquet, you want to review anything at all? Anything you like? Anything you want to reemphasize as making fish go?
I'll be on Houston money line minus 110, and I'm going to be on Baltimore minus 1 minus 128. I'm not gonna. Well, I have obviously the return to Say Hey plays hosted by myself. Daddy Tab did an okay job hosting. He did miss out on some certain days that did piss me off a little bit, but that's fine. But I'll be back hosting again here today. I don't know if I'll be doing it solo or with Ian Cameron because we have a loaded day of content here at Pup Sports Radio. The Loshak show happening right now. At the top of the hour, we've got the college football show with Bobano and Connor. They were off for Labor Day yesterday, so now we're back here again today. Full breakdown of all the games. Well, a lot of the games happening next week for college football, so don't forget to tune right in there. Then right after, I guess it will be right after, but The Walking Dead will be on. Then right after that, we've got Say Hey Plays. Then right after that, we've got the first edition of Bankroll Blitz with our guy Troy Torrance and Jimmy the Bag here. That all happens today on Pup Sports Radio. So we've got a shitload of shit going on. So tune in on 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. I'll be live for Say Hey Plays, first time in a while. We'll go over the card again a little more in depth, hopefully, and maybe make some more bets here as well. Like I said, I was looking at the Royals hard, and I might even end up betting the Red Sox, shockingly enough. So, Pete, it's nice to see you as always, and I'm excited for this WNBA action.
Quickly, King Al asks, what's the low-hanging fruit, Pete? King Al, if you ever actually been under a tree, you know that sometimes there ain't no low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're under a tree, and you're like, oh, the fucking fruit is high. Now, you can lie to yourself, and you can say that fruit is low when it's not, but then you find yourself jumping at it for hours on end with no fruit, and you're like, what's going on? The answer is there ain't no low-hanging fruit. and I was just lying to myself about it. So you have to, recognize low-hanging fruit when it's there, but not lie to yourself about fruit that's actually high-hanging, and tell yourself it's low-hanging. But if I had to pick one as the lowest hanging fruit of the day, it would have to be Baltimore, right? -1.5 plus 105, or -1, minus whatever. Ohtani's out, but in general, Baltimore just a much better team. Detmers can be good, but also usually is vulnerable. Kramer should be okay. If I had to identify the lowest hanging fruit of the day, it would be Baltimore. Money line -1, -105, whatever you can stomach the best. Would you agree with that, Jose Bouquet?
Yes, Pete, I have another question. What's the highest hanging fruit?
The highest hanging fruit of the day. You're asking me for the dumbest bet that I've given. They're all pretty dumb. Oh, God, looking at them all. Not Colorado, Arizona, but the rest of them are all really stupid, really high up there. Jesus Christ. Wow, these are some
Just the
high up
altitude
there
of
fruit. Holy shit. I guess the highest hanging fruit of the day would probably be, I guess it would have to be the KC first five. You know what I mean? Singer's coming back off the arm strain. KC sucks in general. They're coming off a 12-1 win. That would have to be the high. Of all the plays that I've given officially here, the stupidest one was probably that. KC first five, -120. Highest hanging fruit of the day. There you go.
Yep. Shout out to the highest hanging fruit. Shout out to our next guest, Billy Brisbane. And before I go again, shout out to Reclaim James, a low bagger that was in Tennessee. I met up with Reclaim James. I had a beverage with Reclaim. Nice guy. So shout out to our guy, Reclaim James. Now let's get into these women's hoops because I'm excited because Billy be dropping bombs.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
He casually comes in. The last two times I saw Billy, he said, fuck it. I'll just drop one play. A plus like 450, cash it, no fucking problem. Not even a sweat off Billy's brow. So Billy's be cashing these WNBA player props and parlays and shit. So shout out to Billy. Let's get him on.
Wow. That's a hell of an entry. Billy Briz dropping bombs. Are you dropping bombs? Bombs?
We can't say the word bomb.
Right. Okay.
What's up, my man Loshak? It's been a while. How you been, brother?
I've been well, except for last Saturday. I've been great. Last Saturday I was horrible.
I like the show though. The show was fire.
The show was great. Yeah.
The show
was great, but as you know, with these shows, no matter how many jokes you make, no matter how good the vibes are, no matter how fun you have, if the picks are ass, it's like, ooh, that stings a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's why we got to get some.
WNBA though, I feel like I'm okay with. In general. Can I just can we start with the games that I think I might like, and then you tell me if you agree or not, instead of going in chronological order?
Yeah, there's only 4 games on the slate.
Right. Sparks Sun under 156.5 or whatever is available right now. Sparks Sun. Do you hate that? You like it? Disagree with it?
Actually, one of the 2 plays I was going to give out. This feels like it. Let's talk more about the line here. The line opened up at 10.5 here for the LA Sparks with news about Neke being back inside the lineup. She missed Sunday. She's going to be back. I think she'll be back in the lineup. The line opened up at 10.5 and went down to 7.5. And she got upgraded to questionable. It feels like kind of like a sleepy spot here for the Sun. I mean, they're pretty much locked into the 3rd seed for the playoffs.
Right.
You see these type of situations all the time in the NBA near the end of the year where these teams just feel like too big as a favorite. And the Sparks are holding on to the last spot in the West. They're 5-1 ATS in their last 6 road games. And the team that has experienced a lot of injuries throughout the year, I mean, they're 11-3 ATS in their last 14 games overall. They've been playing good. Total-wise, despite the Sun being at home, they are 11-3 to the over in their last 14 games. But my first glance was I was leaning towards a Sparks team total over. I kind of want to just isolated them. But it's hard to have faith in the Sparks offense. Holy shit, man. Even when they are games, they're not really putting up 100-plus points on the board. I mean, I'm going to have to lean towards the under here. And I think I actually am going to bet the under 155.5 in the Twitter play. What do they call it? The Twitter game of the day for the WNBA? How they the game.
Oh, is this the one everyone's on Twitter?
This game will be streamed on Twitter.
Oh, streamed on Twitter. Oh, okay. And so yeah, I liked it at 157.5, little less than 150, but I would still take it at 155.5 or whatever, or 155, right?
Yeah, I like the under. I would actually lean, if you want to grab big plus money, I think the best big plus money spot on the board today. I'm halfway between if I want to bet the under, if I want to bet the Sparks plus 7.5, because I actually think this is there's like a time where you could think there's too many points, and this is always the economy that we always find in sports betting. Are we picking value or are we picking win? And the value would lean towards the Sparks, but I actually think they can win the game outright. A couple of the offshore books that I know of, they actually opened up this line at minus 120 on the money line for the Connecticut Sun. And I don't think they want to pay out those tickets because that line quickly back to where it was supposed to be. And my greasy theory is I think the Sparks win this game outright.
So you do like the Sparks plus 7 then?
I like the Sparks plus 7.5, and I also like the Sparks under. But it could be one of those situations like Jose was talking about before I came on. We've been finding a lot of value of parlaying the money line with the total, as that's a money line total parlay feature that they
right.
And man, the LA Sparks and the under 155.5 at plus 550 is definitely
Very, very nice. All right, Billy Briz. Wow, this is a great segment. All right, the next one I want to ask you about, I actually mentioned it at the beginning of the show, and I don't know what the line was then, but it's definitely gone up since I mentioned it. That's Liberty Dallas. I've sort of been auto betting Dallas overs in most spots. I got it at 169.5. It's now up to 172. I get, as these totals creep up, it becomes less and less attractive, but I'd probably still take it at 172. What do you think about the over in Dallas and Liberty?
I think you're spot on with the total. I mean, that's the way to look in this game. I mean, the Wings are just bad at home. I mean, they're 1-5 ATS in their last 6 home games, 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games overall. And the Liberty are a good road team, 6-2 ATS in their last 8 games and 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games. Both the teams will be motivated for playoff seeding, hence why this is the highest total on the board today. The Liberty you can make for the best team in the WNBA, honestly, better than the Aces, is winning 13 out of their last 14 games. And with them being 1.5 games out the top spot of their conference, I think this is going to be a barn burner for points in a Liberty W.
Okay, so you think that? Wait, hold on one second. Liberty, right? So
Yeah,
you think the over is still okay at 172, or was good at 160?
I think this is going to be a 190, 200 total type of game. I mean, if you look at Courtney Vandersloot, she's more of a passer, and she's gone over a point prop in 5 straight games. If you look at Sabu Sadi, wherever the fuck her name is, Dallas Wings forward, she's gone over a 3-point prop in 5 straight games. She's been smashing it. So the books have a lot of these different player point props juiced towards the over. So I think this is a good game environment. This is what I would rate as the best game environment for daily fantasy players. So best game environment translate towards the betting over in sports betting.
Wow, awesome. All right, now let's talk about Mystics and Mercury. Now, this was another total that I hit. Gone down a little bit, 155.5. I hit the under. Now it's 154.5. The line is Mystics minus 7.5 and juiced towards 8. But here we have, I don't know, you tell me what you think about this. Where is that comment? Where is that? Sorry, let me find it. Okay, here you go. One and done sports, Mercury money line. I guarantee it. What do you think?
You won't find a person in the WNBA community that has wasted more money on the Phoenix Mercury than me. Team in the WNBA. And I'll tell you, they're about to get blown the fuck out in this game. They could care. If the season ended today, they would be celebrating in the streets of Phoenix saying, thank God the season's over. We already did the Diana Taurasi thing. She already had her flash in the past. Sophie Cunningham's out for this game. Diana Taurasi's out for this game. It's basically Brittany Griner and a bunch of bums. Both of these teams are going to be without familiar faces, but both studs are going to be in this game. Washington's going to have Deladon despite their injury report. As long as I see Elena Deladon in the starting lineup, I don't give a fuck who else is out there. The Mercury are sporting the worst record in WNBA, and they're on an 8-game streak, and it looks like they're ready to pack it home and go home. I mean, they always look like a better team on paper than when you're actually watching them play. It's just, man, I don't blame that dude in the chat for leaning towards the Mercury, though. The Mystics are 1-5 ATS last 6 meetings in Phoenix, and the Mercury are 7-3 ATS in their last 10 home games. But they're only 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games overall, and those are usually big spread points. Like they're losing 9.5s, 8.5s constantly. So it makes me kind of a little bit wearious when you see -5.5 open up for the Washington Mystics, and now it's gone up to 7.5, despite 2 of their starters being out for this game. The Sharks are telling you the Mystics are probably going to win this game and cover. It feels weird to not back any of these home underdogs or home teams in a WNBA slate. Man, I would not bet a home team on this slate today.
Yeah. Yeah. So just listening to what you're saying, capping the capper, I'm starting to feel more and more nervous about the total and the under, because with all that uncertainty, it could be unexpectedly high scoring. I mean, the total's going down because starters are out, but that's not. Yeah, maybe I should take
one
back.
of those
What do you think about the total?
Games, Loshak, like in basketball, you see this more predominantly than like other sports where like 2 teams really just don't give a fuck and they just want to call it quits. And there could just be no. And when I think of this game and I close my eyes and see it play out, I just think there's no defense being played.
Right.
But the appeal under would be, who the fuck is going to score for an over?
Right.
I don't know.
No defense, no offense. How do you bet that game? I don't really know. That's a good point. All right, I think I'm going to pull. I don't know. I think I'm going to take back my bet on the under, and I don't know what to make of the spread. All right, the last game, Sky Fever. I looked at that briefly, got nothing on it. There has been like a market move in favor of Indiana. They were a tiny dog earlier. Now they're a tiny fave, and the total's gotten a significant move to the over. I saw 160 earlier. Now it's up to 164. You got anything on this one?
Yeah, actually, dude, this is my favorite player prop of the day, but we'll talk about the sides a little bit. Regardless if it's home or away, the Indiana Fever are just not a team I'm looking to put my money on right now. You couldn't give me a free if you gave me a free bet to bet the Indiana Fever, I'll probably leave it in my The Fever are 1-4-1 ATS in their last 6 games following an ATS win, and they have been in better form of recent. 4-1-1 ATS last 6 games overall, but the Sky would be the way I'm looking in this one. But some of their recent numbers are really just not pretty. I mean, they're 3-12-2 ATS in their last 17 games versus the Eastern Conference, but they are 4-1 ATS last 5 overall. The Fever have nothing to play for, and the Sky have everything to play for here. They're sitting a game outside the playoffs right now with 3 games left in the season. It's a must-win spot here for the Sky. Historically, they've been playing pretty well in Indiana. They're 10-4-1 ATS in our last 15 meetings in Indiana, but where I found value in this one, a little bit chalky than usual of the plays I've been giving out here, but my favorite WNBA player prop of the day is Marina Maybury over 1.5 3-pointers -156. She's gone over a 3-point prop in 5 straight games and now gets a soft matchup versus the Fever. High volume 3-point shooters are attempting 6 3-pointers a game versus the Fever here. So we get 6 attempts. I just need fucking 2 to go inside the back of the bucket. And a huge move towards the over is telling you that some of these player props are going to be live. And I'm going to circle in on Marina Maybury here. I think she's just going to shoot the shit out of the ball tonight.
That was a hell of a breakdown. I'm going to tail that. 3-point player prop. And so it's interesting that there's been a move towards Indiana, but who cares? All right, so let's review. I'm going to be on the Sparks Sun under, and I might also take the Sparks plus the points and the Connecticut Sun team total under. That's all endorsed by Brizzy. Definitely going to be on Liberty Wings over. Bet sizing appropriately, but it seems like a no-brainer play. Mystics and Mercury, that's a crazy game. No offense, no defense. How do you bet it? I'm not sure. And I'm going to tail Brizzy on that player prop for the Chicago Sky. What's your favorite bet on the card, Brizzy?
I got 2 bets on the card tonight. I'm gonna lock this one officially in. We're gonna have to go for big plus money again. We're going with the LA Sparks and the under 155.5 at plus 550. I think if the Sparks win the game, it goes under. If they lose the game, the shit probably went over because they weren't playing defense. Right. And the other prop that I'm looking at is Marina Maybury over 1.5 3-pointers in the Chicago Sky game, first game of the night, -156, a little bit chalky, but 1 plus money, dog, 1 favorite, get you paid. And we'll be here on Pub Sports Radio Tuesday night, Dana White Contender Series. So you can sweat it out live with the boys.
Billy Briz, thanks for joining me today, man. What a segment. Hell yeah. Thanks so much. Jose, where are you? Where are you, Jose, pal? Fucking hell of a segment right there.
That was
hell of a fucking segment right there. I want you to tail that player prop as well.
Done.
All right, let's look at the comment section. Man, I am tired, man. Wow. So what's going on with Pub Sports Radio in general this week? Go over all the shows again.
Man, Pete, it's so much. Let me
Loaded.
say, yes, loaded. It's all for Razor's birthday too. So again, happy birthday to Razor. But yes, I'll tell you right now, 40-ish minutes. So go get your hot dogs. Go get whatever you need. College football complete breakdown. Bobano and Connor Mack talking about a shitload of games here, and we'll talk about them all on that show, hitting the books with them. Right after that show, we've got The Balking Dead with Sharpie. He breaks down pitcher props, as all of us know better than anyone else. Beast, they do their thing. Right after Sharpie's show, Say Hey Play with myself returns. First time in a while I've been doing Say Hey Plays. We'll talk about all the baseball games. I'll find out if Bobano is joining me, because it's a little back-to-back shows there for Bobano. Then the debut, the first show of the year for the NFL, because the NFL season is here, Pete. Bankroll Blitz, Troy Torrance, Jimmy the Bag, tonight, 8 p.m. Central, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central there for Jimmy and Troy. They'll be breaking down all the games there. Troy, as we all know, former wide receiver himself, so he'll give us a great perspective. Jimmy had a successful year last year in football as well, so it'll be a whole lot of fun talking about that with them. And don't forget, again, we'll keep saying it throughout this week, because this is one of your last weeks to sign up. The Cappers contest live right now. 5 picks against the spread, $100 for this contest. Peter Loshak, like he mentioned, won it last year. I came in like 4th because I've got stupid fat fingers. I should have finished in 2nd. You have to make 5 picks against the spread. Don't forget, 5. And we have added a submit button this year just for myself. And I was very selfish with that submit button. I said, we need it. So we've got that going on. You can sign up whenever throughout the whole season, but obviously it is more advantageous for you to sign up early so you can make all your picks. So sign up, and don't forget the Cappers contest show also will be happening this year. Members only, and as always, don't forget about Survivor. I'm in the Survivor pool as well. I think I've already got my team lined up for the Survivor pool. My goal this year is just to survive for the first week. I did not do that last year, so I need to survive after the first week this year, Peter Loshak. So small goals, but it's got a lot of stuff happening here in the pub and a lot of exciting stuff. I'm excited to see how you do this year in both contests.
Oh, me too. I've not survived the first week in Survivor like 3 years running, and it's like each year there's like some team that goes 13-3, but that lost outright their first week one, their week 1 game as like a 10-point favorite. And I pick them in Survivor every friggin' year. So I'm going to be very careful to not do that again this year and try as hard as I can to survive to week 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jose Bouquet, is it really your birthday today, man?
It was yesterday.
Oh, so what's his birthday bullshit? Birthday pick bullshit. I'll give you.
No, man. Yeah, I'm asking for Razor. Obviously, it's Razor's birthday.
Oh, for Razor. Oh, man. My birthday pick for Razor Sharp Picks is just to double his unit size on all of his picks today. That's my birthday pick for him. That's my birthday pick for him. And also, if he wants to throw out another pick, I think if Razor Sharp Picks is watching, yeah, let's give him friggin' what is that game? Sparks Sun under 155. There you go, Razor Sharp Picks. Sparks Sun under 155. Happy birthday to you, Razor Sharp Picks. Have a great day. Everyone tune in. Sign up for the Cappers contest. Jose Bouquet, we'll see you again next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Pete, I'll see you then. I can't wait.
All right, me too. See you Tuesday.